Well, the race is on, and the jostling for leadership positions of the 10th National Assembly intensifies despite the ruling of Progressive Congress zoning arrangement. Now, in the House of Representatives, the G7 aspirants have stoutly opposed the choice of Tajuddin Abbas and Benjamin Kalu as preferred consensus candidates for the speakership and deputy speakership positions of the 10th House. Well, it's a different case for the Senate, as various heavyweights are jostling for the top seat. Another reason for this has been placed on several opposition members, a sense that many say will play a key role in deciding which way the votes will swing. But in a bid to find a lasting solution, President Tinubu has called on the National Assembly members-elect in a bid to find headway. In all of this, will a meeting point be found? Well, for more on this, I have with me in the studios Prince Kenyemwafo Orizu, who is an APC chieftain and the son of the first Senate President, and also Prince Kasim Afegbua, who's a political commentator and public affairs analyst. Gentlemen, good to see you both, and thanks for your time as always. Let's start with the man who's, I think Kasim actually started his whole journey sometime talking about a sudden agenda. Many, will remember when you were still a member of the opposition People's Democratic Party. And now the really the APC, would like to call you a friend of the APC because have you joined the APC formally?
Not yet.
But you're a friend of the APC.
Very
and a
much
big
so.
supporter of the president.
Yeah, very big supporter.
So let's talk about the National Assembly politics. Even though it's an internal affair, as they say, but the heat and the bickering is getting to Nigerians. Here in the capital city, we've seen lampposts of people already canvassing for votes, as if, well, the people of the city will be casting ballots on the day.
Well, it's expected, no doubt about that. You know, every leadership position, particularly of an arm of government as important as the legislature, lawmaking, it's expected that you throw up quality and not quantity. You throw up persons who have the leadership acumen, who have the intellectual wellness and the capacity, and the competence to rally around every other lawmaker across the 109 senatorial districts in the country towards providing a headway for the country with respect to laws that will be therapeutic in nation, that will heal the wounds in the land and help to cater for marginalization, cater for inclusiveness and all of that. So it's understandable why people are, jostling for those positions. But the party, the APC, has actually zoned the Senate presidency to the South region and also narrowed down to Senator Akpabio in their estimation. They didn't come to that conclusion without taking into consideration the fact that we have a Muslim-Muslim arrangement. They will want to have a Christian or any other religion aside Muslim to head that particular position. But expectedly, people, there will be those who want to play the role of disruptors, in the process. They wouldn't want to concede that kind of zoning arrangement. That's why you keep seeing people like Yari, former governor of Zamfara State. You see Osita Ezunazo from Owerri. You see Orizu from Abia State and all of that. But I think the party will play the role of the big brother. And that role will repeat itself because in 2019, when Adams Oshomole was the chairman of the APC, he rallied around every other ESCO members and insisted that he wanted Ahmed Lawan, who is the current outgoing Senate president. And Oshomole insisted that the party supremacy must flourish. And at the end of the day, Ahmed Lawan emerged as the Senate president and without rancor. And he's been, since 2019, without internal dissensions, without internal crisis. So
let me take off from there, without rancor, Prince Orizu. Politics, sometimes one wonders where party supremacy, lies in affairs like this. Knowing full well that the APC had been browbeaten once in the assembly in matters like this. Now, you're a chieftain of the APC, and categorically, Kasim, has quoted some of the spokespersons of the APC who came out after to say these are the candidates of the APC for the leadership position in the National Assembly. Tell us what it is like, what you're feeling, or what you've gotten so far being a chief of your party.
Yes.
Is that what it is?
Thank you very much. Let me start by making a correction from from Kashim.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't think it's right in saying that APC as a party has zoned this to a particular region or a particular person. What they have done, which can be confirmed from what the national chairman, Abdullahi Adamu, said eventually, I think it was advisory. If they have really zoned, then there wouldn't be need for others to try to contest. And in zoning, there are indices before you have a zone system or a consensus. One of those index is consultation. Participants, competitors must be consulted. When they agree, when you convince them that this is why you want to zone it to a particular place, and they agree with you, not by force, not by imposition, then it is zoned. It is not zoned to South-South. They only said that this was what was told NWC. They said so. The president-elect told them, this person.
The president.
Elect. No, sorry about that. The president told them then it was elect, because he was not sworn in a time.
I know, it can be confusing even for journalists.
Exactly. So then, the party, when the pressure came from the stakeholders, they met Abdullahi Adamu, the chairman of the party, and they said it that they are still consulting for a better consultative result. So there is no doubt they advised on a particular candidate, micro-zoned it to a particular candidate. But I don't think they reserve the full right.
But before I come back to Kasim, I don't know if you watched categorically on television when Felix Moka, who is the party spokesperson, reeled out the outcome of that meeting. It was a marathon meeting, and when he came out, he gave out those names and regions. Did you see that?
I saw it. And exactly what I'm saying. You can mention names, you can mention regions, but in what context? If you look at what he said, it was not, this thing came down from somebody to them. They didn't even decide it. They are saying what the party was told to do. And when then people didn't feel okay with it, naturally, because they were not consulted, they went back to the party because they respected the party. They are still respecting the party, and went out to say, hey, wait a minute, what's going on? Party said, no, we are still consulting to get to a better conclusion. So there was an advice, but it was not a zoning that was conclusive. Otherwise, people
let me bring in Kasim, a man you can easily say has a political crystal ball, because he saw the movement then, and he said, irrespective of political parties, I'm quoting you, that you are going to support any political party who's going to give the ticket to a certain candidate. So now the zoning, what's your political crystal ball saying? Because a man who's a member of the APC is saying that, well, it's an advisory, not categorically zoned.
Well, I think my good friend is just trying to be clever by half. Because when I have run a party before, some 18, 19 years ago, and I know how parties are run and how decisions are taken. You see, you have a national working committee where the publicity secretary came out to read out what the outcome of the NWC was. And these are the persons the party prefers to hold XYZ position. In the case of the Senate presidents, they were categorical about Senator Godswill Akpabio as Senate president. The deputy was Jibrin Barau from Kano. They also went a step further to say Tajuddin Abbas from Kaduna will be the speaker, and Ben Kalu from the Southeast will be the Deputy Speaker. You see, you may quarrel with the position of the party because party's positions oftentimes may not be popular, but it is party positions because the party and its supremacy to members must be at all times held sacrosanct. That's why you see Republican, Democrats, when they are taking decisions, they defer to the party when it comes to it, because it is a party that actually owns the mandate of those who are representing it, because the ballot paper is carrying the logo of the party, not the face of any individual. If APC fails, they are not going to be calling names. They will say APC failed woefully. If APC succeeds, they say APC succeeds nicely. And it is because of the attraction that the party holds that you see people, going into it as members or flooding into it to contest election. So, in this case, there is no need begging the issue. The point is, I had made a case for the South-South region that they should be considered for this position of Senate presidency. And I was happy when the party, the APC, saw sense in what some of us were saying. Ab initio, that it was good for them to consider the South-South. And the only ranking senator in the South-South in APC is Senator Akpabio. So they also penciled down his name. So people who may not agree with party positions are being cultivated now, are being consulted, and they are seeing the sense in it. Like former Governor Yari, who is from the Northwest Zone. You don't expect us to have a Muslim president, Muslim vice president, a Senate president in this volatile, environment and political environment. You will now have another Muslim as Senate president. The speaker will be a Muslim and all of that. I think we must be conscious and deliberate in our actions to help stabilize the politics so that the new government can sit properly well and deliver on his electoral mandate. Because the moment the scenarios such as this are played out, particularly those who are trying to disrupt the system, who are trying to go against the party, who feel that they have the stamina beyond the party's directive to so do, they will just be cultivating crisis, and that will distract the president. So the president today has called for a meeting of all the senators from the APC. He's holding a meeting with them at 7 o'clock. I'm sure they are in the meeting right now. And he's going to be explaining to them what the need for unity, the need for cohesion, the need for solidarity amongst all the senators. But at any rate, Senator Akpabio, from all indications, based on party directive and even other senators, and the need for geopolitical balancing and balancing the algorithms of power, I think is more favored to clinch the ticket come Tuesday next week.
And now we'll bring him back on for Orizu. Now, listen to him. He's also used that, phrase, ranking senator. And let's talk about others from the Southeast. If you say this is an advisory, perhaps you have your eyes on some other members
Yes.
in the Senate, in the race, specifically in the Senate, you think are much more qualified than Akpabio, isn't it?
Yes. Okay. Yeah. In the first place, before I answer that question, let me also clarify something very important. We must advise ourselves that the politics of National Assembly is not a general election. The party has an influence. But actually, indeed, they have a limit, serious limit.
So what's the limit?
Their limit is, you are not talking only about people from APC, mind you. There are oppositions. And let me even assume, without conceding, that the party has zoned it to somebody, be it Senator Akpabio or my candidate, which it is Naso, or even our brother candidate, Orizu Carlo. Does that make it a rubber stamp? What if you have opposition that doesn't agree with it and they garner enough numbers? Which party are they obeying? Their own party or the APC ruling party? It's a privilege that your party is given the opportunity if you have the majority.
But again, speaking politically, gathering that number can go either way. The ruling party can also
That's exactly
speak
what I
to
want
some
to
of those.
correct of the impression he is saying is the political party in power has the privilege. It's just like first right of refusal. What if, okay, for example, in this situation, you have 50 members as opposition, and you have 59 members under APC. Let us assume that this opposition get themselves together and they are 50, one way or the other, get 5 members and win the seat. Will you be talking about APC? Then, going back to further details on content and quality of the people. In the first place, he also mentioned about the people, the party being supreme. The party in question is a new party, APC. Who are the people who kept the party, who made the party?
Did you say the APC is a new party?
Yeah, new party in context of they came after in 2015. That's what I mean. In the context, I'm coming with some explanation. Not very new, but in the context of what I'm saying, PDP was there before them, APP was there before them, before they collaborated into APC. In that context, they are the newest in this situation. Now, and I'm saying, when they came on board, it was some people who started the party. Some people like Senator Steve Naso. I was there. He was going to Lagos every day with Fashola. They were meeting every day with the president now. Every day, every week, they will go to Lagos. And they formed this party. When they formed this party, I was there too. He became the first interim organizing secretary of the party.
From the Southeast, especially?
From the Southeast, but he became the first national public secretary of the party, interim. He was the person who organized the first convention that brought him back as a substantive thing. Okay. So he actually was in this party before other people that are contesting, some of these people came in. So you cannot easily say supremacy of the party. And there's something very important I want to say.
Quickly, so that I can bring it, Kasim.
Okay, yeah. There's something very important I want to say. You know, when the president now used the phrase, Emiloko, I don't understand Yoruba, but I understand this, my turn. He said it in a context. And if you're into communication, you know what is called context and interpretation. He was not telling Nigeria it was his turn. He was telling the APC. And why was he saying so? Because of his contribution to the party. In the same vein, if there is a proper reward system, Ositi Naso was the organizing secretary who actually conducted the first election of the party and took over power from PDP. You don't look at him and tell him he's not a stakeholder.
Let me bring in Kasim, who's been smiling all the way since you brought in that perspective.
I'm just trying to, I find it quite amusing that he's bringing this dimension. I was a foundation member of the APC, and I played one or two other roles in the process of the merger because I was a commissioner in Edo State as at that time. And the point must be made that if you know that you're actually a full-fledged member of the APC,
yes,
you know that it is captured that anybody that is joining the APC at any point in time, they call it equal joiner.
I don't have a problem with that.
So the idea of you being there for 8 years and somebody who coming now does not even arise.
It was
what is sacrosanct is the contribution you are bringing to help, knock this on the path of victory. Now, a man who just came into the party,
yes,
according to your explanation,
yes,
is contesting, right?
Yes.
He was able to deliver over 130,000 votes to the president-elect.
Okay.
You that have been in the party, you are not able to deliver 30,000 votes to the president of your party. Who is more relevant? Okay. So this sense of entitlement must be discountenanced with all seriousness. And I've said it before. Thank God you are the son of the first Senate president. I've used that. He was the second Senate president.
Actually,
because the second because Azikiwe and your dad, before your dad surrendered the power of the legislature to the coupists, so to speak. No, I'm just making a point.
Let's stay on the matter.
I'm staying on the matter. So thank God you have. So the Southeast has produced 5. If you go back to this, 7 Senate presidents. I don't want it to be a matter of entitlement. And when they keep talking about tripod arrangement in Nigeria, You went into an election in 2023. The Osita was not you are talking. Returned as a senator, defeating other candidates. The same election, the same hour, the same time, Osita could not pull the same votes for his presidential candidate.
I correct you on that.
You know, so please wait. So for me, it is about what to bring to the table. This time around, South-South geopolitical region, zone, the treasure base of the country, the resource base of the country deserves and desires, with all emphasis, the position of Senate President, and we support wholeheartedly the choice of Senator Godswill Akpabio as the preferred candidate, and he remains the man to beat. Anyone who tries to toy with that choice or that recognition by the party will only be fanning the embers of trouble. And all we are praying for is a stable system, a robust political engagement, a collective bargaining kind of scenario, so that in the final analysis, we'll be having a Senate President that will preside over the 108 senators drawn from across all the senatorial districts in this country and the 36 states of the country and the FCT. So for me, if you try to preach newcomer, oldcomer, and all of that, that one pales into insignificance. If you look at the contribution they gave to the party in the last election.
Can I say something to that? Yeah, I only responded because he said the supremacy of the party and these boys just came in now, that's the other contestants, and went to, and there was need for me to draw back that they were there before him. Otherwise, I'm not saying it's the only singular thing to consider. As a matter of fact, it's not so important.
It was deputy chief whip of the Senate.
Yeah, when he came in, this was somebody. I don't want to go straight on Akpabio because I don't have no problem with him.
The only candidate.
No, I'm coming, please. I'm coming, please. What I am saying is that when Kashim says about the thing going to South-South, and we have seven Senate presidents before, that is not true. Because if you look at it, look at a tenure, for example. Tenure of 1999 to 2003, the Southeast produced 4 or 5 Senate presidents. Do you call them Senate presidents to Southeast? Is it not a position for one man for a tenure of 4 years that was splitted by some other political derivations? You cannot tell me that Chuboka Adibo stayed 8 months. Is 8 months 4-year tenure?
He made law.
No, I'm coming, please. Even Enweran stays 6 months, Payosanim, the same thing. If you distribute my own time into my brothers, are you saying at the same time the person who was president of Nigeria, was he not steady for 4 years? Now he is talking about this. In the same APC is talking about this. If you only go to what you come to table today with, were there no people before Akpabio came in 2015? How was APC also surviving before he came in? These were people in PDP who were castigating APC. They came in. They have a right to come in, equal participation. But in narration, we must put it to the table. You cannot tell me that the South-South is talking about. They have had president of Nigeria.
Let's see if we can close. I don't mean to cut you short. Apologies for that. But again, quickly, for instance, you say the APC, your chieftain of the APC, has not categorically said that this has been zoned and narrowed down.
Sure. It is there, it's open, yes.
If after tonight's meeting, and there is feelers, official feelers, that the party is insisting on a particular candidate or candidates other than yours, would your candidate abide by the party's position?
As a party man, me, myself, because I'm not my candidate. So as a party man...
But will you stop campaigning for him then, thereafter?
It all depends. I can't stay on this studio and tell you because in the first place it's hypothesis. I wouldn't know what will be the outcome. If the thing comes out well and they all agree, there won't be need for acrimony. There won't be need for contest. This they are doing now is what they should have done earlier before. So it's like they did it wrong and they went back. If they had consulted, and Akpabio or anybody was choosing after consultation, we won't be here.
And that's why I'm bringing the conditionality clause there. If, after tonight's meeting, the outcome says, well, these are the candidates other than yours. Yes. Will you still continue to canvass for your candidate?
To the extent of what my candidate actually prefers, I cannot be campaigning in the air. If he goes to the meeting and come out and say, they have convinced us, for the interest of this, I back down. Will I become, am I going in there? Of course, I will toe the line and then follow any other person because it's still one party. I don't have a problem on individuals, but I have a problem of Southeast, and in Southeast, who is qualified? Who is qualified? Because you need a new rebranding of this. You can't come with people who
I'm going to put the same question to Kasim before. Okay, Kasim, I'll let you go, then I'll bring the same question to you.
Sulaiman, please, there's no need begging this issue. You understand my point? The Southeast cannot eat its cake and have it. Now you are telling me about 6 months, 8 months, and all of that.
Yes.
For 8 years in the history of this country's 24 years democracy, the Southeast presided at the top echelon as Senate President of the National Assembly for 8 years. And in those 8 years, 5 persons came on board. And again, you had a Deputy Senate President in Kweremadu that spent 12 years. If you add 12 years plus 8 years, in 20 years of 24 years democracy, you've had your presence at the lawmaking.
But you had a vice president and the president.
So the point must be, look, the problem of the Southeast is that they are looking for president of Nigeria, not Senate president.
No, it doesn't work that way.
Allow me to talk now. You continue. They are looking for president. They are looking for president of the country. They are not. The position of Senate president is not a perpetual position that should be zoned to them on account of a tripod arrangement. No. The point is, you talk about Senator Akpabio of being newer, in the party or new in the party. No, wait, let me tell you. He came to the party APC. He became a minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. He became a chief whip of the same Senate you're talking about.
So he has gotten enough.
Position.
So he has gotten enough.
He has more experience than the person you are canvassing for.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? He's got more experience than the person you are canvassing for. And in the election of Bola Ahmed Tinubu,
he has gotten enough.
Senator Godswill Akpabio contributed more votes
in his
senatorial district.
I've exceeded my time, but I'm going to let you react. Then I'll come back to Kasim in 30 seconds to react to the same question.
No, let me tell you about this Senator Akpabio bringing
30 seconds.
Bringing women. If that is the case, then I would tell you that everything should be zoned to Northwest because they brought everything. The idea of zoning is to take care of deficiency. You don't count me that I brought 5%. Are you telling me that I brought 5%? Don't you also know that it was because of the Labour Party's incursion into PDP that made us to win our election? It may have gone through the reverse. It may not have been intended. But the truth is, this zone also, in their problem, made us win. We are happy that P2B came and destroyed chances of this thing. So you don't just wave it. Otherwise, we take everything and go to the Southwest. We don't have to consider North, South, South.
Okay, I think
we had enough votes from South, South.
So Kasim, quickly,
South is
Northwest.
Wait, now we have 7 states in Northwest. The votes cannot
they got a bigger vote, so they can take
South. Allow me to talk.
Let's allow Kasim.
South Joboligo zone is the hotbed of the PDP, but we're able to score over 46% in all the 6 states. We even won in some states, in Rivers and Edo and one other state. Won. So the point I'm making is this: the party has zoned the position to South-South. We're happy. We commend them, and they have chosen Godswill Akpabio on account of his competence.
And my final question is, should after the meeting tonight, and it says your candidate is not the one that
No, that one does not arise. Please.
No, because I did say I was going to ask the same question. Will you continue to canvass for him?
Sulaiman, I'm not just a political player.
You are not a party man.
I have access to persons and scenarios in this country. Please allow me.
And I also know you're a lover of logic. And I'm bringing the logic here.
You say the logic you are bringing.
And I'm asking you.
The logic you are bringing does not arise. You know why? The party consulted and thought through this particular endorsement of this candidate before they made a formal announcement.
If they change their mind, will you accept it?
So the idea of changing mind does not arise. Can you believe it, quality for quantity?
Do you see the
it does
point?
arise.
Do you
It
see
will
the
not.
point?
It
He
will
believes
not.
it's by fire, by force.
No, it's not by fire, by
Okay,
force.
gentlemen, I think it's a fine place. It's a fine place for us to leave it.
There is no if. There is no if.
So you don't even want to entertain
I'd like to thank you for your time.
There is no if.
Kasim Afegbua, I'd like to
But you
thank you
can
for your
see it.
time, gentlemen. And I really do hope that we can keep this conversation going.